Yo,
Yo!
what's up guys? What we gonna play today? Hey, let's play Warzone. I heard they got a new game mode for the new Call of Duty Vanguard. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that. Let me just check to see if I have some space. Oh wait, guys, you know what? I have to delete a few games to make some room. What do you mean you don't have space? Oh my god, man.
Yo, this guy never has space on his hard drive.
I mean, the internal hard drive does have 500 gigabytes, but I just have to... What a scrub, man. Why do we even play with this guy?
Every day, it's the same story, man.
Yo, let's just leave this fool. Let's go play with Sean.
He's not that good, but at least he has Warzone.
Damn, I'm getting replaced by Sean? Damn. Yo, Matthew, why don't you just use this? Who are you and what is this? Oh, well, this is an external hard drive from Sabrent Rocket. Yeah, but is it any good? Why don't you just test it out and make a video about it? You know, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I will. Still trash though. What was that? Well, I might as well just try this out. So yes, Sabrent did reach out to me and they did send me out a SSD for the PS5. But funny story enough, I actually was in the middle of looking for an external hard drive for the PS5 because if you guys don't know, I did make a video on the M.2 that works with the PS5, so I needed to compare it to an external one, so it all just happened for a good reason. Now, just to let you guys know, this is no way sponsored by Sabrent, so I can say whatever I want, and this is gonna be a complete unbiased review. So I took this hard drive, I tested it out, and I'm gonna tell you guys the results, and trust me, it was actually quite surprising. So without further ado, and without wasting any more time, let's get right into the video. So this hard drive is called the Sabrent Rocket Pro. This is an external SSD with 2 terabytes of space. It does have a transfer speed of up to 1000 megabytes per second or 1 gigabyte. And yes, this is not as fast as the M.2 that comes in the PS5 or the M.2 that you could insert into your PS5. But spoiler alert, you're gonna find out where this probably doesn't matter. This hard drive did come with a Type-C to Type-C cable, as well as a Type-C to USB 3.2 cable. Now I did try both of these cables to see how they worked with the PS5, but unfortunately the Type-C to Type-C cable looked like the only one that was working with the PS5. The Type-C to USB 3.2 cable actually did not work. It didn't even show up on the PS5, and then when I tried plugging it in onto the front port on the PS5, it ended up with this error message saying that I need to plug into the back, but then it wasn't registering. So yeah, looks like Type-C to Type-C is the only way to use this type of drive. Now, one thing to note about all external SSDs, including this one, is that you cannot play PS5 games directly off the drive. What you can do is that you can store PS5 games onto the external SSD, and then whenever you want to play it, you move it back over to the internal SSD on the PS5, and that way you could play the game. So you could use it as a storage device for PS5 games, not necessarily as a boot drive. But if you do plan on playing PS4 games, yes, you can play games directly off the hard drive. And if you want, of course, you can move it back and forth. It's all up to you. Now, one thing I did want to test is whether or not this drive was very, very slow compared to the internal hard drive on the PS5. Because as you guys know, the internal drive on the PS5 gets like 5,500 megabytes per second, and this drive only gets 1000 megabytes per second. So everybody, including myself, would just assume that this hard drive is gonna be very slow, especially on the loading screens or anything that required a lot of assets being transferred. So I went to testing. I tested out Rust on the PS4. I tried it out on my M.2 on the internal hard drive, and then I tried it out on this external Sabrent Rocket. And surprise, surprise, the loading time was extremely similar. From my testing, it was only off by like about a second, and it was very unnoticeable. Then I went ahead and I tried it out on a game that has a very, very long loading time. And what game did I choose? Of course, Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 is notorious for extremely long loading screens, especially in the operations game mode. And once again, I tried it out, I tested it, and guess what, guys? It came out actually on top of the internal hard drive on the PS5. Now, how is this even possible? Well, my internal suspicion is that PS4 games are actually capped at a certain rate when you're playing it on an external hard drive or an internal hard drive on the PS5. So even though this external hard drive is much slower than the internal hard drive that does come with the PS5, it actually performs exactly the same, especially for PS4 games. Now for the PS5 games, of course, you could store those games onto this external hard drive, but you cannot play games off of it. If you do try playing games off this external hard drive, you're gonna show it's not gonna allow you to actually play it. It's just gonna allow you to copy it back over to the internal hard drive. So what's the price for this type of hard drive? Well, it actually comes in at a whopping $300. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of a steep price when you're comparing this type of hard drive to an internal hard drive. Of course, it is actually more cost effective to get something like this because it does hold more space for $300 versus getting an M.2, which would hold the same amount of space for much more money. Now, the one use case I do see for this drive is if you play a lot of PS4 games. Reason being is that this drive is $300 for 2 terabytes. And if you look at an M.2 stick for 2 terabytes, you're gonna be paying way more money for that. So if you do play a lot of PS4 games, I think this might be a more cost-effective option because you're gonna be paying less overall. Now, in terms of speed, when it comes to transferring any type of game from the internal hard drive on the PS5 to this Sabrent Rocket Pro, it actually didn't take too long. The longest game for me was Battlefield 1. It was 78 gigabytes and it took about 3 minutes in total in order to do. But for smaller games like Rust, it didn't take me long at all to do. It took me about 30 seconds to do the transfer. Preferably though, if I could avoid doing any type of transfer, I would try to avoid it. If you need to safely remove the hard drive, you could just go over to the storage settings and then remove it from there. And before you plug it out, you don't want any type of corruption on your hard drive, so make sure you guys do that. So what's my thoughts on this Sabrent Rocket Pro hard drive? Well, in my opinion, I think that it's a great hard drive. I didn't see any issues with it when I was using it. However, I do think this is more catered towards the crowd that play a lot of PS4 games. If you're a person that loves playing PS4 games, I think this is perfect for you because you actually get the added benefit of 2 terabytes of storage space at a way cheaper price compared to getting 2 terabytes of storage on an M.2 for basically the same performance. So it's almost a no-brainer in that sense to just go for something like this versus an M.2. But for PS5 users, I don't think it's worth it. I think you're better off going for an M.2 on the PS5. You're actually going to benefit way more with the M.2 because you can actually play directly from that instead of having to transfer games back and forth. I can see where that can get quite annoying, especially for games that are quite hefty in size. But I mean, to each their own. If you just want something to just hold all your extra games and you don't really plan on moving things back and forth all the time, then yeah, this might be for you as well. But in my personal opinion, I think it's more catered towards the PS4 user crowd. But anyways, guys, that concludes today's video. Let me know whether or not you guys plan on buying an M.2, an external SSD, or whether or not you guys already have one of those. Yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. And also, if you guys did not know this, I do stream on YouTube now, no longer on Twitch. So if you guys have any questions or if you just want to hang out with yours truly, you guys can head over. Make sure you are subscribed and notified so that whenever I go live on Wednesdays, you guys can join the stream. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Matthew. Peace out.